And we are live, I believe. And as I
Yes, we
believe
are.
live, welcome to Visionaries Unlimited. María Gayoso and Ayrton, Giulio. We're so honored and proud to be bringing to you our own perspective, our channeled and humble opinion and view on what is visionary leadership, why that is so needed, and why that is the kind of leadership that we bought into, that we
Yes.
decided to go for, hosting a community of visionaries and making sure that really we could hold space for you who are listening, because I believe if you're listening to us, you are a visionary or you have that kind of I see beyond.
Yes.
Why did we buy into Maria? Let's actually start with that. Why do you think we started buying into the idea of visionary leadership?
Well, because actually, I've always believed that society or humanity should be led by those who are more evolved, more advanced, and definitely visionaries are these kind of people. They're not perfect, but they have the capacity to see beyond what is here and now. They have the capacity and the ability, natural ability, most likely, to see, to have a look into the future, into a possible future where there are more opportunities, where there are more possibilities, where there are more options for everyone or a group of people in particular. And they have the capacity of believing that that is possible. That is kind of the first thing. They're great dreamers and believers, and to bring it into the present moment so that we start taking action, taking the right step to materialize these wonderful ideas that they see clearly that they are possible, and then they will enhance humanity or society in any possible way. So yes, these people should be identified clearly and should be given the opportunity to just be leading society one way, from a business perspective, from a political perspective, from an academic perspective, in so many ways that I think that society should be built to support those who are more evolved.
Okay, so taking it from there, because you started with that part and you ended with that part in your sharing, in your intervention, those
True.
involved, it of course resonates with you like a lot as a definition, and I do see it and I love it as well. I want to give it more voice in terms of how provoking that might sound to many. The fact that, of course, I mean, you and I, for example, Maria, and whoever is
Mm.
listening here, might identify as a visionary. And so the idea of thinking of oneself as more evolved or anyway more than others, it can also trigger something. And I'm taking that. I'm actually taking that because it's
Take
very
it.
important to consider the possibility for everyone to expand into being a visionary, into activating that ability to see, and
Yes.
uh, and of course, more evolved doesn't mean that the others are to be left aside or behind or whatever. And indeed, visionary has that kind of more evolved mm, conception in here, and leadership means that you gotta take care of the others and take responsibility, because if you dare, and I dare to say, dare to dare and dare to lead, if you dare to lead, if you dare to say of yourself that you're a visionary, then you gotta also take responsibility. So this is the very first thing that I like, that I'd like to bring into the visionary leadership model and conception, and at least from my own personal individual channeling perspective and consciousness, visionary leadership means to actually dare to take care of whatever you're able to see. If you're able to see that finance and economics gotta be changed, you gotta take responsibility for it. If you feel that education and good enough and a new, different, whatever disruptive model of education in the world is needed, then you gotta take care of it. Take the responsibility, respond, take in your ability to respond to what you see being wrong or anyway inadequate, or whatever, how you see it, it's how you see it. And I am actually inviting you to share it eventually to the world, because that's your vision, and share it with us in the comment if you want. We're open to listen to your vision. That is the point. More evolved, kind of advanced, kind of being able to embody something that others are not able to see. Therefore, we have the sole responsibility to lead. Therefore, that becomes visionary leadership. Visionary leadership is that thing that happens to you when you fully embrace your visionarity. And this is my contribution to this, coming from that provoking, because it was provoking. It was interesting, at least also to me, kind of coming from the heart space of we're one, we're all into this dharma consciousness of the whole and whatsoever. Thinking of someone more evolved or someone less evolved, it was kind of interesting to hear, and I bet it was for some of you. This is my contribution. Yes, you are in a way advanced, meaning that you're able to tap into that. Now, lead. Maria, Mike is yours. What comes up?
Thank you, because you actually narrowed it down so to a concept that I can expand a little bit more on. The more evolved, when we're using the more or the less, obviously we're making a comparison. And this, I only use it from a human perspective because we are living in a dual world. So everything that we learn and that we know as humans, it's by comparison. So when I say the more or the less, I don't mean to disrespect anyone in any possible way. It's just from the most objective way that I can perceive things. I see some humans that are more evolved than others in the way that they think, in the way that they feel, and in the way that they behave and act. This is from my perspective. From a higher perspective, non-human and purely conscious, everyone is here playing the perfect role that they're playing, having the consciousness that they are having and doing the things that they're doing, and we're all helping each other grow and expand in whichever way we were meant to, and for the good of all. Some people are already conscious of this, and some others are just focused on themselves. So a proper leader, a 21st century leader, definitely has to have others in mind and in their heart for them to be a good leader. Like in emotional intelligence is like a basic today in the understanding of what a good leader is. Like that's a kind of a basic quality that everyone requires. They're not just so many leaders don't have that quality yet, but still socially it is agreed to some extent that a good leader should be emotionally intelligent, sorry. And apart from that, what my perspective is that they need to be visionary, because these are the people that will be able to bring forward society and to help humanity evolve at a higher pace. Because, and here's a very interesting data. Most humans, 95% of their thoughts are exactly the same as their previous day and the previous day and the previous day. So with that information, what can we expect from most humans if they're just been thinking exactly the same as the day before, 1 month ago, 1 year ago, etc., etc. Most human beings live in the past. Most human beings don't know how to be in the present moment so that they can connect with higher possibilities of a future for humanity. That's why it's so important, because I've heard it so many times. It's so important to know the human history so that don't repeat the same mistakes. I don't fully agree with that affirmation. And I've just realized I'm going to go out of battery. I didn't have that into consideration. So you go on. But
That's the
sorry.
beauty of life. And look, let me actually take this then as an opportunity for us to actively tune into that seeing beyond. As we're here in this very moment, I invite you to even close your eyes if you desire. It will be a 5 minutes thing, not more than 5 minutes. It will be this 5 minutes thing where we close our eyes or stay eyes open and tune into the energy, the feeling, the emotion. How does that feel? How does your vision feel? How does your creation feel? So as you tap into it, as you also see what's wrong or what's disturbing, bothering you, your human, your humane expression on this planet that you would like to change. As you tap into that, I want to push you a little farther. Push where you are now into feeling what would happen. And I'm not saying you are not taking, but what would happen if you took 1% of responsibility about that? 1% more responsibility about that now. And how could you do that? Bringing it into your conscious thinking so that eventually some of those 95% of usual habitual thinking gets triggered and maybe changes today and changes at such a radical and somatic level that it truly stays with you. Okay. So what would your body feel? What would your feet, your toes feel as you took that responsibility? What would your heels, your knees, your legs experience as you walk proud of the 1% plus of responsibility and action that you are taking into the world, into your vision? Is there any new thought that is coming? How does your what does your hips actually and belly and lower back feel and keep coming up? I am taking more responsibility. I am taking more action. I am reaching out to more people. I am connecting more organizations. I am feeding more kids. I am educating more kids. I am bringing 1% more equality in genders and in social how you say, like inequality, like I'm bringing more equality into social injustice, so to speak. 1%, 5%. What is your field? Think of your field. You're taking more responsibility right now. Breathe in and out and feel it in your body. How does your body feel about it? Trigger it. Stay with it for a moment. Breathing in and out. What is the action your being, your body craves right now? Maybe standing up and actually go do something. Is there a new thought? Maybe not right now. Are you open to have new thoughts, not just the 95% of regular thoughts of your past, living that past that Maria spoke to and about? This is a little bit the provoking exercise. Provoking not from me. You are provoking yourself. You are provoking your being to actually step more into the vision. We're provoking, we're teasing the vision. Tease that vision to come through you, and become you as you into this planet. That's visionary leadership, because at that point, you need to take that responsibility and you need to lead. I crave daring to lead. I can't help it. And this is what I believe being visionary leadership. I see something, I believe it's my duty. And my body cringes to the not taking responsibility for it. Do you have the same feeling? You listening, actually, do you have the same feeling, Maria?
Yes, responsibility, absolutely. Like, because I think the fact that we can discuss of where these visions are really coming from. And we may not agree because we don't actually know. I think, two theories, but I cannot really prove that or state as an absolute. But let's say that to some extent, when they either coming from a higher consciousness, this possibility, you tap into it, you channel it, you connect with it for whatever reasons, we don't know why. When it comes down to you and you perceive it as a human, to some extent, I think that you possess it or it possesses you. Like, we start getting into matter, okay, like this is me or this is mine, and I feel responsible for it, or I feel the desire or the excitement or the need to give it a form, to see it and to make others see it. Because just like as a child is always asking for attention and admiration, why do we think that we don't still have this in us? Why have we all created this idea of child and adult and separate us in two, as if we didn't have the same essence of, I want to be seen, I want to be heard, and I want to be admired. And if I tap into a wonderful idea that could change humanity, the course of humanity, I definitely want everyone to see it and to be aware of it and to benefit from it, of course. So the way that I see, to me, in my vision of the future of humanity, the only leaders are visionary leaders. Visionary leaders have many qualities. Like we said, for us, visionaries already means that they are heart-centered human beings, so that the vision is not how to increase their fortune for no reason. They are led by how I can benefit the planet or humanity one way or another. Being a leader means already, or obviously in the future, is like, before I lead anyone into anywhere, I have learned to lead myself. And this is the first like mastery in life. So that's visionary leader. A visionary leader to me is maybe one of the most evolved human beings that I can think of. I think the number is increasing, and it will keep on increasing as humans get more and more conscious. But the amount of people who are leading society at this moment who are visionary leaders is very, very small. So, and one of the things that I want to help with is that number increasing radically, as much as I can do before I go. And something that you mentioned, openness, is definitely like a basic quality here for a visionary. If you're not open to new thoughts, new ideas, new ways of doing things, new ways of perceiving others, reality, it's very difficult that you can be a great leader. It's very difficult that you can envision something great. Because when you're close, and that energy is information. So you won't be able to receive this or the mind is like a human mind is kind of like a box. So when we say think out of the box, is think out of the box where all your beliefs and thoughts from the past are already there. So it's something completely new, something, and normally could be very, very disruptive, to the point that some people would say that is impossible. That is one of the first reactions, or you're crazy, or that's an utopia, or anything of that sort, because it is so disruptive, that thought, and it is so new that most people cannot hold the space for disruptive thoughts, disruptive ideas. They don't have the mind, they haven't even, their brains have not been stretched so much that they can receive this, or they're not that open.
Mm-hmm. That's on point when we speak about the creation of a place that allows these people to come together.
Mm-hmm.
With our community, I just come from a conversation with a visionary, with someone who's after that, who have failed his own previous businesses, who did not stop because he believes in what he's doing, who really can see the power of coming together with others, who genuinely from the heart wants to disrupt. And when we say openness, is openness to new ideas, openness to the fact that others are doing the same, openness to that we can come together or not, openness to actual utopias that are not utopias, they are not irrealizable. They're actually very possible if you believe in it. And not being open means that you're, skeptical. And whoever is not believing in it, and maybe skeptical is an extreme of it, I must say, maybe it is an extreme of it. You don't need to be skeptical. If you're closed and if you're not open, you're not necessarily skeptical, but that's an extreme, that's a part of it.
Yes.
Very often visionaries get like altered by skeptical people who naysay them. And these people, all they're doing is, the skeptical in particular, I'm focusing about the skeptical now, but the skeptical in particular is almost an archetype of the one who is, no, I don't believe this, there's a wall here, but if you actually take him from the soul, he's not trying to stop you. He's not trying to stop you. He's there for you. He's there for you because he's giving you that opportunity for you to test what he's seeing as an obstacle, for you to solve, face, work around what he sees being a wall. You can use it like a wall that you now hit in this point. You can use it as a wonderful, very tall stair that's gonna bring you very up high. And that's leadership once again, not stopping. And that person will follow you. That human who was once skeptical about your idea, as you heart-centeredly, compassionately, so not competitively or with
forcefully
friction, forcefully, you did not fight, but you embraced and you transcended. You transcended. As you transcend, that person is going to follow you. And that's going to be a very powerful follower, by the way. That's going to make you a leader with someone who speaks about your visionary idea. That inevitably make you a visionary leader with advocates. That's an art, actually. It's part of the art of visionary leadership that we love so much in here. And it's absolutely, you're welcome to share your own opinion, your own view and perspective about this whole topic. It's very powerful when we come together and discuss, also from a space of, I don't agree with that, or that it's wrong. That makes leadership. Being open, once again, I bring it back, being open to receiving those feedback and resistances, because otherwise you cannot step on it and go up higher. This is my humble visionary opinion for you. Maria, what else would you add?
Self-confidence and or courage are also like qualities that a visionary leader needs to have, like at the first, as available to them almost at all times. So if there is no confidence there, that you can substitute the confidence with courage immediately for you to bring into fruition that which is not here yet, and that may be kind of shocking or looked huge or impossible or whatever. And I'm thinking how many corporations are really ready to have visionary leaders as CEOs, for example. How ready are them? Because I think the business model here should if we're coming from a business that was created, now I'm generalizing here, but on the 20th century, it is primarily focused on increasing the income, right? That would be kind of the focus on the economic perspective of the business. That was primarily the vast majority of them created on that. Now, today, there are so many other businesses that are not just that primary focus. Generating money would be like a secondary goal or objective, but bringing change or impact into the world would be like the best, like their main focus. It takes a lot of courage, first of all, to detach from money as like the main thing in our lives, and second of all, to invest who knows how many time and energy in your life to materialize a huge idea that you had, because you don't know when you start doing that if you even going to see if it is huge, if you're even going to see the materialization of it or the impact that you wanted to have in the world with it. So it's like this is a journey in life that I believe just a few people are ready to walk into this path, because it requires a lot from the human being, from an evolved perspective. So yes, and Ayrton and I are definitely trying to embody the visionary leadership, the essence, and in the business that we're creating and everything that we're doing in our lives, so that there is coherence with what we believe, and that there is a manifestation in the outside world of how we think, and that we can already, in every action that we take, there is an impact, a positive impact in the world. And something that just came to me, and I wanted to finish with this, or I don't know if you want to say anything further. And how are we about our time?
Just go.
Okay.
We have 3 minutes.
Okay, just a definition. I know that the title is visionary leadership, and maybe I'm more focused here on the person, that human being who embodies visionary leadership.
Yeah,
like
I kind of felt that it came through already, but we need the person who embodies it.
I think the best way that it just came to me as a possible description, short, is a conscious, charismatic inventor. As a way of seeing this visionary leader.
Mm-hmm. What does that mean? What does that mean? Actually, it means everything that you said, I guess, yeah?
Yeah, I don't know, the kind of that combination
Conscious, charismatic inventor.
Conscious, charismatic inventor. So I think a visionary leader needs to be conscious. In our definition of visionary is absolutely there. Charismatic, if you really want to lead people and lead in a way that feels good, the charisma is wonderful. It's not a must, but I think it's ideal that you are a charismatic human being, because you will attract more people and you will do things in a way that more people see you as an example. So I think that's something good. And an inventor, because that's kind of a creator and is someone who is inventing even the world, inventing a version of humanity, inventing in the aspect that they're working on, inventing product services, inventing even policies for their companies that no one has ever put in place before, new laws, anything. So it's kind of inventing things, a visionary, because we already said that it's not just the dreamer that we're talking here, it's the dreamer and the doer. So it's inventing, and of course that person should have the resources to materialize these things. So with no resources and no support from other human beings, it's almost impossible to bring great things into this world.
Mm-hmm. And not all inventors have the resources. When the idea comes, Da Vinci did not had his own resources, but he was such a genius that he would go to people that would see his ideas like, oh man, I want to put my money in it. So this is what we're creating for you, with you, and this is what we're inviting you into. Visionaries community is right about to open its doors for you, and really, if you want to embody even 1% more for yourself, for your inner circle, for your beloved and family, for humanity and the planet, if you want to be a little bit more of this, what is that? Conscious, pragmatic inventor.
Charismatic. Sorry.
Yeah, charismatic. Sorry, yeah.
Pragmatic too. Yeah.
And pragmatic, yes. At this point,
yes.
Inventor, just join us. We're passionately, day after day, building a reality that you and us enjoy together, and well, future generations, 1,000 years from now. What's the mark? What's the mark of your 1% of responsibility 1,000 years from now? I leave you with this, and I can always say, stay visionary till the next time. Ayrton, María, we love you.